So the phone's ringing, and my iPad's on, and my trusty microphone's here, and I'm getting volume on the microphone, and you're hearing the phone ring. Yeah, really good and clear too. So let me go get my pot. It's Nash.
Hey, how are you doing?
Not bad. We got Nash. He's on the other line. He's recording himself on his own iPad. We're going to get this done. So, how you doing, Martin?
Oh, actually, I'm not on the iPad.
You're not on the iPad?
No, we don't have any more. It's about a 9-year-old iPad, and it doesn't have any space on it to record.
You just, all you do is...
We'll do that, but...
Go ahead.
But what I can do, is it possible you can just put this in front of the lens where you are, and we'll just talk?
Like that, you mean?
Yeah. There you go.
Can you
see me at all?
No, I can see the back of my phone. But if you can you see yourself in that?
I can only see, I'm in the top right of my phone. I have no idea.
Well, I don't know if I can see. You're not very...
I can see you all.
Holy shit, you're big. Let me move you away. There you are, that's better.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you phone something like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's got a bit of a glare on it now.
Well, I know, but if I turn it the right way, all the glare is on my iPad. If I turn it this way, you get the glare, but I don't.
Okay, fair enough. Then I could just talk to you just like this, and
yeah.
You just have to record.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Hang on a second. So go ahead and talk, Martin. I'll see what the level's like.
Okay, I can do a test here if you like. Test
yeah, the levels. Yeah, the test is going to be part of the podcast. It always is.
Okay.
So I can see it. We're good. Let's have the chat.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to do this damn podcast because I just rode 25 blocks in a flurry, man. I'm telling you, on my trusty bicycle.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I had a great. Actually, I went down for coffee with a couple of musicians that I'm working on with, and I had a vocalist show up that she sings incredible English, and she's extremely talented. And I'm trying to do a song for autism, you know.
Right.
Well, yeah, it is excellent. But I've been trying for 2 years, and the lyrics finally started to come. Well, she's really good English, and she likes some of my stuff, so she's going to sing. And I told her, you know, if you can say whatever you want to say in the song in Spanish. She said, oh, yeah, I can do that. So it'll be an interesting adventure. I'm looking forward to doing it, so I'm working on that.
Yeah, well, you know, if you're good at it, you can like the languages can meld.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. It's just another adventure, and it's one with an honest quest, so you know the drill, eh?
Great.
Sure, so...
Okay, so well, I'm glad to actually see you from Cuba. It's nice. It's not that cold here. It's been a mild winter. We haven't had a -10 or anything yet.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's all good. So
we had great weather. The ice fishermen are on the bay, but there's no way the water will open in the big lake.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're not trying to get on the big lake anyway. The way they are there.
I don't go until I get a couple of -20s.
Yeah, at least. So everything's cool. So I guess to get at it, I guess one of the main purposes of getting this done now is kind of where we're at with the lakeshore people.
Okay, then let's discuss that. How are you making out with the...
Okay, before we get started, my name is Tim Danbrook. This is Georgina Speaks. And as always, we're grateful to have Martin Nash with us, who we always rely on for the real information as it relates to Georgina and Lake Simcoe, because he's been here 64 years. Sorry to tip them off, Martin, but it's got to get real now.
I'm sure I look 68.
Yeah, these screens are not doing much for either one of us. I got to tell you right now.
Not to mention we can't get haircuts or anything. Let's not even go there.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to do it either. So I heard the lockdown's pretty tough up there now, eh?
Yeah, it's just we locked down 2 days ago, and it's just crazy. You can't go anywhere. However, real estate's an essential business, so I can actually get out if I want to, but I've got nobody to, like not much going on because nobody wants to talk to you.
Yeah, got essential business, but no essential customers, essentially.
Yeah, like, I go like king or talking to people. So, yeah, Anyway, so more stuff. How's that going along?
Okay, so we're at where we're at now is we as you know, the 8 of us filed our claims in the small claims court, and we've all received our defenses from both the town and the lawyer Andrew Bickert for the town that we sued independently. The purpose, and I've outlined this in correspondence both with the on Facebook and with the group directly through their directors. As long as I post it publicly, then they're willing to send it off to the people on the lakeshore, which is, I take it personal when they won't just, do whatever I want them to do, because you know what I'm like. So I get all wound out, but essentially I understand their concerns, and they can't be viewed, and I understand that they can't be viewed as working in conjunction with, because they have to keep their mandate open as far as the town and what have you. So I accept that.
Oh, of course, and I think you wrote a letter. That letter, you published it.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows your position, I think, very well. So anybody that wants to know exactly what's going on here, just read that letter. It's a good one. I liked what you put in it, and I did read the defense of, but I didn't realize that you. Had you sued the lawyer as well, or just the town?
I sued the lawyer independently.
Okay,
Defendant one. He's defendant one.
Oh.
That's his new name. We'll give him a number one.
Okay, he's the number one in our book.
Yeah, he's number one in our book.
I didn't read that one. I read the defense of the town, what they put in there, and like 50 pages. So thank you very much. That was an evening.
Yeah, wasn't that special, eh? Well, good. I'm glad you had this. I don't have to read it because you did, and you're sharper than I am on this stuff anyway. So okay, so that's that. Now the next development in all of that was we had some funding donated from certain people that are interested in seeing us move forward, and really they're not arbitrary people, and they're no nefarious motives. They just want people to be stuck up for, and that's what we're doing, sticking up for people. So we had some money donated. So we managed to get Colin Brown from Hill Hunter LaSalle. You know Colin.
Right, yes.
Yeah, well, he's agreed to come on one of the files, and we raised enough money to pay him to fully represent somebody on one of the files, and then I'm going to represent myself on my file. And then the other 6 people will have their concerns. Like both the files that Colin and I are going to address in the hearings are going to, they're going to cover all of the different parameters as it relates to title on the entire shoreline, and the different litigants actually have different circumstances that fit perfectly. We have somebody who's actually in land titles. We have somebody who has a small strip beyond the 66 feet. We have people. I have somebody who's converted recently to land titles, and so anyway, there's all of those circumstances. I cannot tell you, I just cannot express sincerely enough the gratitude I have for the positive response from the people in the shoreline community and the larger community. That I think people have finally realized what's going on, and they have honest concerns for their fellow citizens. I mean, we would all like to slam the rich people who can afford lakefront property. I mean, I'm in, I get that. I come from humble beginnings, and I got no education, so those people get on my nerves like you wouldn't believe, eh? But, I mean, I'm kidding, but, so the first instinct to say, oh, they're just, I think they're entitled or whatever, but once you get past that first instinct, you realize that this is a property dispute. Those people have had title, either properly in full paper title or an improper title because the government did it wrong, so that's made their title impossible, or because, like for a number of things, but every single property on the shoreline community has a dispute based on something. And so the town can't say they own any of them, never mind 90% of them. I'm trying to figure out the politest way I can put it is in the 90%, like that idiot said,
Yeah.
I want to make it clear that I disagree with him. So that's the only way I could do that.
You've pretty well done that in every podcast, so I think you're good.
Okay, good. I want to be clear, eh? Oh, this is really neat, Martin. I'm so I can't tell you how happy I am to hear from you, and in this format, because I miss it. I miss the opportunity to communicate with both yourself and the shoreline people, eh?
I know this is excellent. I I can't believe you're doing that. It's, that you can do this from Cuba. And the only thing different between you and me right now is you're about 30 degrees warmer.
Well, yeah, I'm sweating here like Jesus, eh? It's brutal. Oh, yeah, and can you see my guitars in the background?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I got my 3 guitars. I just come back from the coffee shop where we were jamming it up a little bit and going over some of my music that I'm trying to get, that we're working on recording. And, whenever I'm doing that kind of thing, you try to do something with a purpose,
No, I do. I think you're doing a great job, especially down there. You enjoy it so much, too. That's good for you.
I love it. And go ahead.
Like some of the coffee that you have is a good thing, too. So that, we miss you out here there because you maybe have a little trouble getting back.
Yeah, they've locked everything down here too. I meant to tell you, they're in lockdown here as well. They're not quite into the heaviest phase yet. They do it backwards. They start at phase 3 and work their way back to phase 1 is the worst.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so as I found that out the other day, they said, well, we're going to be phase 1, and I thought, oh, great, we're going to go backwards. They said, no, phase 1 is the worst, sorry. So,
yeah, well,
but they're really on top of it. They write everybody's, like we go to, all the restaurants in the main square are shut down. You can't go inside. You can walk into the counter and get your coffee and come out one person at a time. Nobody can sit in any of these places that I normally playing guitar at. And they have 1 or 2 places on the main drag where you can sit down because it's more open concept. But you have to give them your name and your identification number, and they write down that you've been there in case a COVID ever comes up. A case of COVID ever comes up from there. They have a list of who's been. Have to track them down and where and what have you. So they're really on top of it. They're operating.
When we're here, we're isolated here. We don't know what anybody else is really doing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the vaccine, man. As soon as I find out anywhere in the world I can fly and get the vaccine, I'm going. I'm going to go there, get it, and come home. And by home, I mean here, eh?
Definitely have to quarantine it. I'm sure they'll allow you back in, but anyway. That's what we put all that right now because that's something you'll do within a month from now anyway.
Yeah.
Or weeks.
Just so you know, I've acquired I've assembled a mailing list, an email list of all the people on the waterfront shoreline community. I managed to sort it out. I found a place where they keep a record of it. So I have it. Yeah, it is actually because I can send directly to them because it gets on my nerves when Daryl Blanchard and Alan Darenfeld and Dave Solosky, they're all trying to be really careful about how their position and what I'm doing. And I'm getting all indignant, like I'm trying to help these people and you won't give them my information, So, because how spastic I get under certain circumstances. But I get it. They have honest concerns, so I had to develop a way that you and I can communicate directly with the people.
Yeah, and this podcast is a good way of doing that.
Yep. And so, listen, Martin, thanks so much for being available, and I'll get this one out right away, probably before the night's out or in the morning. And then I've been queuing up with Colin on all the background stuff, the title stuff. I have a flood of stuff that came to me from the shoreline people, deeds of actual land title deeds that are just in registry, tax bills for people that have tax bills on 2 property that have been paying 2 independent taxes on them, like a whole host of circumstances. So I've been careful just to send them one at a time and explain them to Colin as we go. So him and I are queuing up. There's no urgency because the courts are not going to move right away anyway. It'll be March. I'll be back long before we get to the settlement conference. And as always, and as you know, you and I have talked about this, our desire, if the town would just back up, sit down, and there's 2 requirements I think that would take care of this. And one is if the town guaranteed anybody that has an exclusive right to use and has had an exclusive right to use and maintain the property for years and years will automatically have the right to convert that into whatever they decide, quiet title or ownership or whatever. Town just has to release their interest is all they have to do. It's not a big deal. And then the second requirement would be to allow us to contribute appraisal information, our own appraisal information from our own appraisals, so that makes it a fair game. And that would probably resolve everything, because right now people don't know. The town could technically say, oh, we went to the public and the public decided that we want all of your property so we can't sell any of it to anybody. And they could do that. I personally think that's what they're intending to do.
Yeah, well, I hope not. But anyway, also just from my point of view, I still think a 50-foot road allowance without make it all one way would solve a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
All of that.
Yeah, smart. Go ahead.
Putting it through that filter, I don't know while you're talking to people, and while they're, you know, we've got to come up with a solution. I don't know. I just look at that one. It just makes sense to me, and it does put, you know, safety first on the lakefront, and also it gives the people who have had this use. Perhaps some of them will even have a bit more property that they'll feel more comfortable being on a 50-foot allowance versus a 66. You know. Yeah.
Well. Yeah. Just so you know, you smart ass. There's some proposals already now since you and I have been talking about this. The last thing that they just published had some possible one way, like right around the park in Willow Beach. Have it turned into one way and have the road go out to the metro and then along and then back down further down the road. So that portion of it around the beach. So they're listening to you, even if they won't admit it, Martin. Hey, you know what? They spent the beach consultant. They spent 120 grand for our own picture of our own beaches with a nice highlight and a warm and fuzzy internet moment there. Maybe they should send you a little money for consulting. You know, send them a bill, see if they pay it. You know, they probably will. Anyway, again, thank you so much, Martin. It is so good to see your face. It's good to hear from you.
You too, Tim, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yep. Tell Barbara I said hello, eh?
Will do. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye bye.